Thou toldst me thou did hold him in thy hate.
Despise me, if I do not. Certes, says he, I have already chosen my officer. And what was he? Forsooth, a great arithmetician, Michael Cassio, a Florentine.
I would not follow him then.
Oh, sir, content you. I follow him to serve my turn upon him. It is as sure as you are, Rodrigo. Were I the Moor, I would not be Iago. In following him, I follow but myself. Heaven is my judge. Not for I love and duty, but seeming so for my peculiar end, I am not what I am.
Here is her father's house. I'll call aloud.
Most great Brabantio, in simple and pure soul I come to you.
What is the reason of this terrible summons? What is the matter there?
I want, sir, to inform you that your daughter and the Moor are now making the beast with 2 bags.
Thou art a villain.
You are a senator.
This thou shalt answer. I know thee, Rodrigo.
Sir, I will answer anything, but I beseech you, if it be your pleasure and most wise consent, as partly I find it is, that your fair daughter, at this odd, even, and dull watch of the night, transported with no worse nor better guard, but with a knave of common hire, a gondolier to the gross class of the lascivious Moor.
It is true and evil. Gone she is. And what's to come of my despised time is not but bitterness. Now, Rodrigo, where didst thou see her? Are they married, think you?
Truly, I think they are.
Oh, heaven, how got she out on treason of the blood? Fathers, from hence trust not your daughters' minds by what you see them act. Do you think you can discover them?
I think I can discover him if you please to get good guard and go along with me.
Oh, thou foul thief! Where hast thou stowed my daughter? Damned as thou art, thou hast enchanted her. For I prefer me to all things of sense. If she in chains and magic were not bound, were there made so tender, fair, and happy, to run from the curled, wealthy darlings of our nation, whatever it have, to incur general mock, run from her guardage to the city bosom of such a thing as thou, to fear, not to delight. Judge me the world, if 'tis not gross in sense, that thou hast practiced on her with foul charms, abused her delicate youth with drugs or minerals. I therefore do and attach thee. For I am abuser, for he is an abuser of the world, a praxo of the arts without warrant, inhibited and out of warrant. Lay a hold on him. If you do resist, subdue him at his peril.
Hold your hands, both you of my kind and the rest. Were it my cue to fight, I should have known it, without a prompter. Where will you that I go to answer this charge?
To the prison, till fit time of law and course direct session call thee to answer.
And what if I do obey? How may the Duke be therewith satisfied, whose messengers are here about my side upon some present business of the state, to bring me to him?
'Tis true, most worthy Signor. The Duke's in council, and I am sure your noble self is called for.
Now, the Duke in council, in this time of the night, bring him away. Mine's not an idle cause.
Valiant Othello, we must straight employ you against the general enemy Ottoman. Good Brabantio, I did not see you. Welcome, gentle Signor. We lacked your counsel and your advice tonight.
So did I yours. Good your grace, pardon me. Neither my place nor aught I heard of business hath raised me from my bed, nor doth the general care take hold of me. For my particular grief engulfs and swallows other sorrows.
Why? What is the matter?
My daughter, oh my daughter.
Fetch Desdemona hither.
Ensign, conduct them. You know best the way. Until she come, as truly as to heaven, I do confess the vices of my blood. So justly to your grave ears I'll present how I did thrive in this fair lady's love, and she in mine.
Say it, Othello.
I often did beguile her of her tears, when I did speak of some distressful stroke that my youth suffered. My story being done, she gave me for my pains a world of sighs. She swore, in faith 'twas strange. She wished she had not heard it, and yet she wished that heaven had made her such a man. She thanked me, and that would woo her. Upon this hint I spake. She loved me for the dangers I had passed, and I loved her that she did pity them. This only is the witchcraft I have used. Here comes the lady, let her witness.
I think this tale would win my daughter too. Good Brabantio, take up this mangled matter at the best. Men do their broken weapons rather use than their bare hands.
I pray you, hear her speak. If she confessed that she was half to lure destruction on my head, if my bad blame light on man. Come hither, gentle mistress. Do you perceive here, in this noble company, where you most owe obedience?
My noble father, I do perceive here a divided duty. To you I am bound for life and education. My life and education both do learn me how to respect you. I am hitherto your daughter, but here is my husband. And so much my duty showed to me is by my mother, preferring you before her father, I challenge that I may profess to do to the more my lord.
God be with you, I had done. Please at your grace unto the state affairs. I'd rather adopt a child than get it. Come hither, more. I here do give thee that with all my heart, which, but thou hast already, with all my heart I would keep from thee. For your sake, Jewel, I am glad at soul I have no other child, for thy escape would teach me tyranny, tank clogs on her. I have done my word.
Let me speak like yourself, and lay a sentence which as agrees or vice may help these lovers into your favor. When remedies are past, the griefs are ended, by seeing the worst, which lay on hopes depended. The more of mischief that is past and gone, is the next way to draw new mischief on. What cannot be preserved when fortune takes, patience her injury a mockery makes. The rob that smiles steals something from the thief. He robs himself that spins a bootless grief. Thanks you, the valiant of this warlike isle, that so approve the more. Oh, let the heavens give him some defense against the elements, for I have lost him on a dangerous sea. His bark is stoutly timbered, and his pilot a very expert and approved allowance. Therefore, my hopes not surfeited to death stand in bold cure. Good ensign, you are welcome.
There comes.
Welcome, mistress. It is good to see you. Let it not gall your patience, good Iago, that I extend my manners such. 'Tis my breeding that gives me this bold show of courtesy.
Sir, would she give you so much of her lips as of her tongue she oft bestows on me? You would have enough.
Alas, she has no speech.
In faith, too much. I find it still when I have leave to sleep married before your ladyship. I grant she puts her tongue a little in her heart and chides with thinking. You have little cause to say so. He takes her by her palm. Aye, well said, whisper. With as little as a web as this will I ensnare as great a fly as Cassio. The Moor, I know his trumpet.
'Tis truly so.
Do thou meet me presently at the harbor? Come hither. If thou best fathom, as they say, base men being in love have then a nobility in their natures more than is native to them. Listen me. The lieutenant tonight watches on the court of guard. First, I must tell thee this. Desdemona is directly in love with him.
With him? Why, 'tis not possible.
Lay thy finger thus, and let thy soul be instructed. Mark me with what violence she first loved the more, but for bragging and telling her fantastical lies, and will she love him still for prating? Her eyes must be fed, and what delight shall she have to look on the devil?
I cannot believe that in her. She's full of most blessed condition.
Villainous thoughts, Rodrigo. Cassio knows you not. I'll not be far from you. Do you find same occasion to come to anger Cassio, either by speaking too loud or tainting his discipline, or from what other course you please, which the time shall more favorably minister?
Well,
Sir, he is rash and very sudden in choler, and haply may strike at you. Provoke him, that he may, I will cause these of Cyprus to mutiny, whose qualification shall come into no true taste again but by the displeasure of Cassio. And what's he then that says I play the villain? As I do now offer to counsel Cassio for this course, to ply Desdemona to repair his fortunes, and she for him pleads strongly to the more, and by how much she strives to do him good, so will I turn her virtue into pitch, and of her own goodness make the net that shall enmesh them all.
A knave? Teach me my duty? I'll beat the